John Wick's Grandpa, Part 2. When I saw the first Sisu, I remember expressing the sentiment that I enjoyed it, but it got wobbly for me at the end because it got too John Wicky. And then at some point I found out, I don't remember if it was before the review or not, that the producers of John Wick or people involved with John Wick were involved with Sisu. And it makes so much sense, right? This movie goes even more John Wicky than the first Sisu. I was also today years old when I found out that the actor and the director are brother-in-laws. I had no idea. Okay, whatever. Little piece of interesting trivia. Sisu 2, otherwise known as The Road to Revenge, it magnifies the issues that I had with the first film. If you can't tell by now, it magnified those issues by about 100. It had a good opening section, and the basic premise is that he crosses into Russian territory because he's trying to retrieve his memories, basically his home. He goes to where his home used to be because they explain in the beginning that Finland lost part of its territory at the end of World War II. And his family had lived on what is now the Russian side, had been Finland before. So he goes back home. They find out he has come back, and they send the guy who was responsible for the death of his family out to get him. And the movie is basically one long chase sequence, pretty much, kind of like Mad Max Fury Road. And it started off pretty good to me. I think the scenes that resonated the most with me were just the simple moments, like when he's going through his old house and he's looking at the area and he's being so overcome by emotion because of what he has lost, everything he's been through. I thought the actor captured those emotions so well. I just wanted to give the poor guy a hug. I felt so bad for him. So great job on that. And then it's not long after, though, that this chase begins, and it's just one crazy action stunt scene after another. And the problem that I have with it going so John Wicky is that, like John Wick, the film takes itself very seriously, which makes the absurdity of what's happening harder to accept. The complete opposite thing happened for me with Deadpool and Wolverine. That movie was absurd, but the film did not take itself seriously, and the way it was put together was so much fun, I didn't care how absurd it was. I cannot say the same thing about these types of movies. The first Sisu I rated much higher. Maybe in 65 or 70%. This one, it's like 40 for me. I just couldn't. Now, for those of you who loved the ridiculousness of John Wick 3 and 4 and the ridiculousness at the end of Sisu, you will probably really enjoy this movie. I did not. It was the Mystery Movie Monday, and I couldn't participate in the live stream discussion that I usually have with the Deleted and others because I had plans already that evening that had been made well in advance. But these types of things just don't work for me. No matter how good the stunts are pulled off and how effective and believable certain things are that are happening. As far, when I say believable, I mean, like, let's say injuries. The practical effects of some of the injuries and the kills and all of that. Very well done, but that is not enough to bolster a film for me and to make me really appreciate it because the story just falls apart. And at that point, it's just leaning more on the action and stylized violence that it turns a movie like this into something that's cartoonish. I kind of expected that might happen since this is a sequel, and with most sequels, they feel the need to go bigger and better, and so things just amp up. Same thing happened here. It's not terribly long. It's about an hour and a half. It felt longer because when things started getting more and more insane, I was getting bored. And I was ready for it to be over. It's broken up into 6 chapters and then like an epilogue at the end. If you're really into this type of thing, you will probably like that it's paced pretty well because just isn't much story to it. The lead actor, as I've already mentioned, he really sells the emotional part of his character. And the fact that he's silent throughout pretty much the entire, well, yes, in this movie, throughout the entire movie. He doesn't utter one word. At the end of the first one, he says one sentence. And finally, I was like, oh, he can he actually can talk. He didn't say anything in this one. Stephen Lang does most of the talking. Stephen was in here, if you didn't know. I never watched the trailer, so I had no idea who was going to be in here. I didn't even know what the storyline was going to be. Unfortunately, other than the opening, which I did like, and the strong atmosphere, obviously, of when this is taking place, where this is taking place, and certain emotionally engaging aspects to the main character and his compelling physical performance, because I can buy in some ways that he can do some of the stuff he's doing. I do have a limit though. So obviously the over-the-top action breaks the film's intended tone. I say that because people started laughing when certain things were happening. You'll probably know those moments when you see them. I was laughing too, but not because I was laughing with the movie. I was laughing at the movie. It's just too derivative of John Wick, and John Wick lost me in movies 3 and 4, which kind of reduces its originality. It felt very original, the first movie, and it's just kind of undone all of that because now it just feels like, oh, I'm watching John Wick's ancestor doing his John Wick stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, I just can't continue to suspend my disbelief with this franchise. I hope there's not going to be a Sisu 3. There might be if this film gets enough attention and enough praise. The official critics love it. Fans will probably like it too. I'm just not one of them. And it's a shame because this director, I think, does a good job at pulling together action scenes, and the actor is really good, but they just don't deliver what I would like in a story like this. And it's weird to say that because I do like action films, but everyone has their limit, and this movie broke it many times. Anyway, that's all I can say for now about Sisu 2 or Sisu: The Road to Revenge. It's coming out this weekend. I'm going to try to get this review up before that happens. So if you watch it, let me know what you think. All right, that's it for this one. Bye.